Alright, man, Torture Talk. Like, share, subscribe to the page. Hit the thumbs up button if you like the content. So today, I want to be talking about the young thug I want to be. I need to get my fucking vocabulary better or some shit. Not really better, but more in the lines of like learning how to speak better. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we just be speaking too fast, you know what I'm saying? But I don't do no edits, no cuts, so sometimes the shit just stay in there. So look, I want to talk about this. This is me when you talk slow. You talk slow. That's when you get your brain start to think better, and you start to speak better when you talk slow. You know what I'm saying? But people hate when you talk slow to them because they think you making fun of them or some shit. But I want to talk about the Young Thug trial and what happened with they were replacing. I was gonna say repeating. They're replacing the judge. I think his name is Glanville, because he had an ex parte meeting. And you don't supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? Have secret meetings, and he didn't have just one. He actually lied about. He lied about having one, but then he didn't want to release the transcript. Once he did, they found out he had two of them, and you don't supposed to do that. And yeah. So we're gonna watch this guy. He's pretty popular. This guy here. I see him on my timeline all the time. He actually has pretty good content. I seen one time he only had like 5,000-6,000 subscribers. He got over 300,000, I think, now, and that was a couple of weeks ago. So I don't know what happened. Maybe I'm mistaken, but yeah, he didn't have that many subscribers, but he got a lot of them now. So I'm trying to be like that nigga. So look, we're gonna get to it, man. Before I get to it, I gotta get my spill. Hey man, this is Torture Talk. They call me the Hidden Gem. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. Hit the thumbs up button if you like the content. If you want to donate, links will be on the screen. Cash App, PayPal, all that good stuff in the description. Also, too, I don't sell no merch, but I do have content. So if you are here, thank you. Hit the like button too. I want to get them likes up to at least 200, 300, 400. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it, man. We're going to talk about it. We're going to let him talk. We're going to stop. We're going to do all that good stuff. And yeah, I think this is a very fascinating trial, actually. Very fascinating. All right, ladies, put one in the chat. Don't forget that. And guys, you know where to find the ones at, nigga. Let's go.
So Young Thug had a problem. His group YSL just got hit with a RICO charge. What's a RICO charge? Great question. So basically, courts use this thing called RICO to bring a whole organization in for a crime. Courts kind of decided criminals could be treated like employees. If an employee does something, he was probably told by his boss to do so. Shouldn't his boss be liable? They decided yes. In Young Thug's case, he's considered the boss, and
so I want to speak on the RICO shit. It's a bunch of different things that can apply to this RICO shit, right? The thing about it is they can get you, put you into the case if you, let's say for instance, somebody said something and you went along with it and you didn't really know that it was a crime organization. It could put you involved with that shit too. But the bad part about RICO is it can apply to anybody. So even if you are a judge, a lawyer, prosecutor, anybody, you can get caught up in that too and didn't even know. So it's just a weird law. And I think the person who created it was Mayor Giuliani. I don't know too much about the law, but I just know that it's weird. And he created the law for the mafia back in the day, and then they turned around and used it on him. They used it right on him. That's what I'm saying. Shit crazy.
Everybody else in YSL are like his employees. Now, as you can imagine, they really want Young Thug. Everyone else, So what do? They call everyone in and say, hey, you give us Young Thug and we don't give you 50 years. Everyone else says 50? What? He did this, he did that, he did this. And that's where our boy Gunna comes in. People take things called plea deals. Remember, the whole point of court is to convince jury people that this person did something or didn't. So they bring Gunna in and say, you didn't do that much. Gunna's like, I didn't. They're like, so all you gotta do is tell us if YSL, this is important, if it's a gang or not. Don't tell us if Young Thug is a super bad criminal. Just tell us if it's a gang or not. And you're basically free to go. That sounds insane, right? But see, the thing is, this whole thing is a chess match. Before they can capture the king, which is Young Thug, they need to take down all the other pieces. So by Gunna and a bunch of other YSL members coming out and saying YSL is a gang, the jury's thinking, oh, if their own members are saying it's a gang and they're dangerous, then they're probably a gang and they're probably dangerous. So out of 28 people, a bunch of them took plea deals, a bunch of them got moved here, moved there, and all in all, 6 people, including Young Thug, were left. But a couple were already going to jail for life for past stuff, so they didn't care about a plea deal or not. Now, here's where the story starts to get wicked. This whole thing started because of a rap beef, but not quite. See, the thing you don't know about Young Thug is he's from one of the roughest neighborhoods in America. Another person from that neighborhood is named YFN Lucci. Now, you would think they'd be friends because they're both from the same neighborhood and they both came up around the same time. Nah, because when you're from a rough neighborhood, people get, and one of those people to get was someone very close to YFN Lucci named Big Nut. Rumor has
Now that dude right there, Big Nut, I'm hearing that he was messing with Fannie Willis, the district attorney of Fulton County down there. I'm hearing they were messing around. That's what a lot of people were saying. I'm not saying that that's true, but that's what a lot of people were saying. And they said she had pictures of the dude all in her office and everything. Damn.
That YSL, Young Thug's group, was responsible. So a huge war breaks out in Atlanta, YFN Lucci's group and Young Thug's group. So many people's houses got lit up that federal agents had no choice but to take action. So not many people know this, but before Young Thug's group got taken down, they went after YFN Lucci's group first, and they took him down. In fact, YFN Lucci is currently serving 10 years in prison. So the courts liked their odds with Young Thug. They just needed a spark, and that spark came with a man named Woody. See, Woody was a part of YSL. He got caught with in his car, and they said, hey, you're going to jail for a while. Woody said, how long's a while? He said, never mind, I'm snitching. They said, oh, that was easy. What you got? He said, oh, that man started singing like a bird. So the story goes, a couple YFN members robbed Woody. Woody got mad and Big Nut. Young Thug bought him the car to do that, and boom, it's the perfect spark. Young Thug's lawyer said cap. Or he probably said baloney. Young Thug and YSL are just a music group. Just because someone from YSL does something bad doesn't mean the whole group is involved. Prosecutors go, no, like Gunna said, they're a gang. Now, this seems pretty cut and dry. They both have their arguments. But see, the case then started to drag out for so long that everyone started to lose it. I mean, lose it. That being said, grab some water because it's time for them 8 months to select a jury. And just for reference, long trials last like 8 months. They had about 700 witnesses ready to testify. They started going through the witnesses and started realizing, oh, this is not going to finish until 2027 because with each witness comes a list of other problems. One witness said, I'm high as hell. I don't know anything. Oh, you don't believe me?
I'm so high right now, y'all. I'm about to go to sleep on y'all ass.
He then goes on to say he's too high to remember the details. Another
Yo, that's crazy. Nigga said, I'm so high right now, I'm about to go sleep on y'all. Yo, that's crazy.
Witness comes on the stand and flips on the prosecutors and starts helping Young Thug. Not because she liked Young Thug, it's because someone on the prosecutor's team kept asking her out on dates and she thought it was weird. She felt harassed, wanted to stay home, but they forced her to be there. So the judge said, stop, we're putting a cap on the witnesses. So it went from 700 to about 150. So instead of finishing in 2027, the trial is going to finish in like 2026. So Young Thug's lawyers basically call for a mistrial, meaning everything needs to stop. The trial has taken too long. The jurors are checked out, which is the most important part. That's why trials can't be so long. Imagine you're sitting there for 2 2 years hearing people go over and over, talk over. You're gonna check out. The judge says, no, we're gonna keep going. But the trial has been lasting for so long that the judge starts getting mad at everybody as well. They all hate each other at this point, so they're just arguing in the courtroom. So Young Thug's lawyer says again, stop the trial. You basically called me an idiot a million times in front of the jury. This is not fair to us. The judge says, no, we're gonna keep going. But everything explodes when Woody takes the stand. Remember, Woody's the one who started this whole thing. So he was the prosecution's star witness against Young Thug. The prosecution was hyped. They said, Thug, you going to jail. Woody, tell them what you was telling us. Woody said, Woody, he said. Woody becomes completely uncooperative. Listen to what he says to their first question.
How old are you?
Grown.
Okay, what does grown mean?
I'm an adult.
The prosecutors go, oh snap, hold on, we need to talk to him. So the courts take a break. Woody comes back, he starts talking. And here's where things start to get wicked. See, here's the thing. Prosecutors already gave Woody basically immunity for whatever he says, so he can say whatever he wants. The deal goes, you told us that Young Thug is a bad guy. We let you go free. Now just repeat what you said in front of everyone. Now, listen closely. He decides not to say anything at first. The judge tells him you have to say stuff. That does not mean you have to say what you said to them earlier. You just have to say something. So he decides to start being a menace, dragging out questions, just being uncooperative. Remember, they then leave. They come back and he starts being a little more cooperative. So Young Thug's lawyers were like, why is he being a little more cooperative? Come to find out that Woody was taken to the back with the judge and the prosecutor and basically told, if you don't start talking right now, you finna go to jail. Now, this is just something the courts can.
Now that what he's saying, I watched the trial. What he's saying, that's partially true. It didn't happen the way he's saying it happened. It happened, but it didn't happen that way. Basically, what happened was they brought Woody in before the defense team came in, before Young Thug's defense team came in. I believe it was on a Monday or Tuesday. They brought him in hours before because the court started at 9, but I believe they started at 11, and they brought him in for what they call an ex parte meeting. And that meeting wasn't supposed to happen without defense being present. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. You can't hide stuff. Everything has to be in the open. So he's right, but it just wasn't that the time he's saying. They ain't take him back there and then talk to him, because the lawyer would known that that's what they were doing. I mean, but I do believe that they did say something to him, but it wasn't a secret meeting. So
not do. You have the right to a fair trial, meaning, listen closely, there cannot be any secret meetings. In fact, everything has to be known by everyone. All the charges, all the witnesses, nothing can be a secret between the judge, prosecutors, and the defendants. This meeting was clearly a secret. So Young Thug's lawyers confront the judge about it. The judge goes, how did you know? Young Thug's lawyers go, it doesn't matter how I knew. Did it happen? The judge says, who told you? He says, it doesn't matter who told me. Why did it happen? The judge goes, he actually starts shaking up. You're going to jail. The lawyer goes, what? Judge goes, arrest that man. Young Thug's lawyer said, you know you don't want to do that. The judge said, yeah, I do. So Young Thug's lawyer goes to jail. The Georgia Supreme Court immediately says, no. Everybody goes, that's it? The Supreme Court goes, yes. Go back. So Young Thug's lawyer comes back. The judge goes, why are you here? Young Thug's lawyer goes, you need to leave. The judge goes, Young Thug's lawyer goes, huh? He says, all right, we'll leave the decision up to another judge. Other judge, do you think I need to be dismissed from the trial? She goes, yes. He goes, you don't want to think about it for a second? She goes, I don't. He goes, switching sides. All right, I'm going to just go. He leaves. They get a new judge.
I believe that, I think his name is Glanville. I believe he's the head of all the judges in that courthouse. So either way, not sure exactly what they call it, but I was reading something about it. It said that he's the top guy. So even though he was removed from the case, they still got to talk to him about the case or something similar to that.
Young Thug's lawyer goes, because in all regards, this case is over. Because no matter what the courts decide, Young Thug's lawyer is just gonna say the trial wasn't fair. And well, it wasn't. On top of that, the prosecution and the judge look very corrupt, so the jury is probably gonna let Young Thug go. They don't know what's true and what's lies. How can I put a man in jail for life if I don't know how much times I've been lied to? If the jury decides, screw that, he's guilty, then Young Thug's lawyer just goes to an appeals court and says, you saw what happened. The Supreme Court's gonna say, yeah, okay, mistrial. But if prosecutors try to counter that by saying, well, we're gonna get Young Thug on this other charge or this other charge, then Young Thug's lawyer would counter that and say, maybe you were making this trial so bad that you wanted me to do a mistrial so you can start the trial over since you were already losing, and then it all gets so weird. The Supreme Court doesn't want to deal with that. So they're just gonna say, you lost, Georgia. Young Thug's free to go. Maybe. I'm not a lawyer.
The future is not just gonna happen. You have to make it. And if you want a successful...
Yeah, man. So what I think is going to happen is I think they're going to ask for a mistrial, and I think that's what's going to happen. There's too many things that happened in that trial that's happening in this trial. I know they got a new judge, and the judge, they asked for a mistrial or dismissal or whatever you want to call it, and she said absolutely not. But I do believe that this trial has been going on for a long time, and this was 2022, I believe, or some shit like that. So 2022, this trial been going on. It's 2 years, and they haven't got anywhere. They haven't got nothing at all. Because if they did, then it would be over. But they haven't gotten anywhere. You got all these witnesses and all these people, but they still haven't gotten anywhere. So all I'm gonna say is, man, I don't really know too much about Young Thug. I know his music, but I'm not too fond of him. I don't know him. I don't know how they get down there. And it is what it is. Well, you know, some things happen out there. Who knows? But I don't know. So we'll see what happens, man. But I definitely think it's gonna get dismissed. So, all right, man. Post comments. You know what it is. Sure, hit that like button, man. Share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Love y'all. See y'all. Peace. Bye.